Alright, Season 3, Episode 15. Or 15. The Mertonator. This is the aforementioned Terminator rip-off episode. Okay. Do we need to explain the plot of this one? A cyborg version of Martin, cyborgito, as it says, cyborg robot, evil robot version of Martin is sent from the future to eliminate Tommy. For some reason, apparently he ends up saving the world. Context, I don't know. But yes, back in the election episode, I said we'd never see Hillary again. Apparently we do. She's in this episode. I was surprised myself. I was like, wait, she's back? Yeah, she's organizing a studs calendar for the school, which I feel they wouldn't actually do, but I guess since everyone is on their seniors, maybe. I don't know. Yes, Tommy's, of course, on the calendar. Strange that Chuck wasn't in this episode. You think he would be in there, too. And it's funny, too. It would be funny if you had Chuck in this episode, because it'd say he was July. But Merton wants to be in there, but they don't, he's not a stud or whatever, They had a thing, and that's not even really brought up. So the robot, the Mertonator, I'll just call him that. The Mertonator shows up and he just wants to kill Tommy, destroy Tommy Dawkins. And so, he pushes past Lori and then she shows up at the factory. So he pushes back Lori, but she shows up at the factory. The continuity of this episode is even weird because, they're at school. Then when Mertonator shows up looking for Tommy, asks Lori where he is, and she's like, I thought. First of all, he shows up at the house where we get a Dean cameo, where is Tommy Dawkins, and he's watching Judge Judy, and he's like, I think he said school? So grab a couch or get out, scram or whatever. So he leaves. And he goes to school, and Lori's like, I thought he was with you at the factory. Wait, shouldn't... There's still kids in school. Is this their lunch hour or something? That's why he's at the factory at lunch hour? I don't know. And he goes there, and somehow Lori got there before a futuristic robot from the future. And he tries to destroy them. Nothing, because they're able to... Because Hillary shows up and offers him this September or whatever it was, and then, so he, for some reason, this robot does his pictures for the calendar, and they're trying to figure out, Merton references the Terminator, which is the only movie that Tommy and Lori have seen. Like, oh yeah, James Cameron. Wait, you've seen it? Oh, I had some good stuff for this one too. And while he's in there doing it, Tommy goes in to do his thing for the calendar, and then the Mertonator shows up. It's like, where is Tommy Dawkins? And then Tommy shows up, but it's not Tommy, it's another robot sent from the future, a good one, to help stop the Mertonator. So the Mertonator shoots it, and they think Tommy's dead, but the real Tommy comes around and he's like, what's going on? And they're like, so you're a good robot sent from the future. And he explains that now that the Mertonator has completed his job, he will self-destruct, and then he'll self-destruct, and it'll all be over. Except, it's not that easy, because we have to... There's still time left in this episode, and so it wouldn't be that easy just to do that. No, For some reason, he's now this robot that feels no emotion, no pain. Now wants to be the calendar for on the calendar for July as well, which is why I said it would be funny if Chuck was originally supposed to be July, and Merton gets both. Hey, wait a minute! I'm supposed to be July. What's going on here? He wants to be July. And he kisses Hillary. I want July too. Kisses her, and she's like, "You got it." And it's just like, what? And that's when he realizes that Tommy's not dead. So they have a fight, and he vaporizes. He melts the Tommy robot, and I'm just like, wait, why didn't it do that the first time he shot him? And they have a fight, and then it becomes a joke. They fight the factory, and it becomes a running joke of why isn't this thing stopping? Because they try to fight it. He kicks it, gets back up. It drop a disco ball on it. Throws it behind the bar, gets back up. Rips off his arm, throws him down the bowling lane. Steve Reich gets back up, and then finally they use the severed arm to blast it. Although I don't think it would work. It's not connected to the main core, but you know, TV show. And finally, it's destroyed, except for the arm is now coming after it. After they're like, looks like you throws it, the arm starts coming after it. It's funny. And then we see that Mertonator got both September and July, and then or June in July, or was it August? I don't remember. But February and July. That's what it was. February and July. But somehow those two pages are back to back in the calendar, which makes no sense to me. But yeah, it's fine. It's another weird episode of the show. We're not done with weirdness just yet, but it's another weird one. But yeah, we're gonna keep trudging along because we're trudging towards the end of this series. That, you know, I'm starting to see that season 3 probably wasn't the best. I'm trying to understand why it got canceled. They were throwing everything at the wall to see if it stuck. This was just, I think maybe they saw the writing on the wall. It was just like, let's just make this, if this is going to be the last season, let's make it a what if season and just throw everything at the wall and see if it sticks. And just, with little bits of continuity, but sometimes not at all. I don't know. We're going to keep going. No, we gonna keep going. So, yeah.